Okay, good, then I can ask you now. How are things, Chalk? Astral Seer, grad school is actually quite difficult. I'm finding I really don't have a lot of time for casting like I thought I would. Okay, go. Alright. AMA after. Once there was a man in a tan coat with a dog that smelled like strawberries. Oddly enough, one day he left his dog in a pile of steaming hot ramen, which he promptly disposed of. He explained, "How do I get this shit off my dog? He's just sitting there. Is he even giving a fuck? And what is that large spotted Dalmatian going with my priceless amethyst? That was the last time I'll ever cook any ramen again. I'll go back to that other world for fresh ramen. Then I can give to Corvo for the goods, and not the knife in my brother's ugly red bag, because he doesn't like it touching his butt." Corvo asks about the wanderer's sense. The heart replies, "Where's the goods?" It was then the goods were shot from cannons, exploded in the air, and rained everywhere in pretty rainbows made of fire. Under some ice, the last of the crayons are lost in the bottom of the universe, where the whole begins to fade and the light becomes the shade. In its infinitesimal and the darkness of, oh my god, the pushing pick. Ha ha ha, worst player ever in the game. Where there's cheese, constipation lingers close unless one cautiously lifts their leg, rolls for crit, and finally wins a new car. That smells like Steve Buscemi's breath. Need some toothpaste to clean my car's hood, since the day when a skunk died after jumping in a dirty sewer. However, inside was a humongous turnip that ate a really big dick tater, whose name was Dick, the Tater, who ruled over many a plump yet surprisingly agile clumsy circus clowns that broke their toilets under duress, impressing the many hot naked grills. Licked a large but odd color elephant dancing to the disco under the high juxtaposition of one funny story that began with the word birthing, out of an email sent by the panda in space who was sleepy because he took some drugs to keep Frankie mites away, and to sleep in a pile of hay, which was itchy but comfy at the same time. Suddenly a poodle poked his fluffy sock puppet out of his wallet, because that's where the monkeys are. They feed on the lost souls of buck-toothed perverts where they lie on a dirty carpet, filled with spiders that tickle your bum, and with sticks and sharp toothpicks that feel like the most fabulous thing you will ever fucking feel. Meanwhile, in the cave full of flapping fruit bats, there were crystals of the most amazing thing you will ever see. Poke them with your pinky finger and explode with happiness. Unless you poke it more and more, it explodes before you know. Poof it goes, and the bats won't stop calling me their father, because I bring happiness to them. Then suddenly they sprung to life through spontaneous combustion with the help of a flying cat, through which the soaring sky with farting rainbows and luscious hair, with a beautiful retro gaijin flying it, shooting marshmallows out of their cannons and making pandas lick all of the chocolate. So they could eat all the dancing penguins that wanted to party under the stars, with the moonlight. But sadly they ate too much and ended up in the hospital, due to all the double-double dancing they endured at the wedding. Before they all blew their paycheck on fast food and Steam sales, and now they have to ask for a loan to buy donuts for a cookout. Weebro, thank you very much for the host. To buy donuts for a cookout with sexy wizards and crazy warlocks and lusty seagulls and bikinis with scaly tail knobs and ravioli hands with bow ties that don't fit around their heads, so they need a good exorcism to get rid of those pesky rainbow farts, to feel like themselves and not feel like they just pooped on everything for the past 69 days, and try to gather all of their overdue pawn tickets and cash them into Phil's wedding for the loot, which had many diamonds and coins made of chocolate that were all just expensive laxatives.
I would never want to belong to any club.
Thank you, Mandabar. And now they just want a new dog for a roommate. They can party with the neighbors until dawn, and justice finally premieres into the light of the sun, where Mars was cast into shadows and disappeared from existence. Bloody Phil. How could you be the one who I would love until the end? Until the end. This changes the thing I said about a year ago when you said you loved her. How could you break my heart, you douche? I kept that photo for the memories of being naked in front of your mom that I kept hidden from you when you went out. Yeah, you thought I wasn't your type like that, but you loved my big green pickle because it is salty and sweet and full of vitamin D. But I guess you didn't want that kind of... you didn't want that kind of crazy hot sex. You were just in love with another girl. Why? You're my dog. Where'd the music go? But I don't swing that way. I'm just not that into you. Not unless you give me the chocolate right now, or else you will be in deep trouble with all of Canada, and all these spiders in the carpet with knives and more. Oh, how scary. Ah! They're in. It's time to duel. You activated my trap card. Kunawi with chain. Dark magician with a panda hat and a dress. He just likes to be himself. Don't we all? Just want to wear a dress and be pretty. No, there are plenty of pretty people that wear dresses daily and hate every moment of it. So, wear what you want to and eat all the chocolate that you can, but don't become another person while going on a diet and eating Rice Krispies treats and squid guts while trying to impress your ex. It's just not healthy to hold on to that much dick at once. I mean, I liked it, but it's not that, but I'm not saying that I like you or anything. But the D, it is fat. You need to go... I have no idea who just... thank you for that host, whoever just hosted. I'll see the message in a minute. Yes, this is FTL music. Jaspu, thank you. You need to go on a trip to your doctor because your D is looking gross as fuck. It's got AIDS. Not really, but you should probably get that checked out to see if it'll fall off. And it does then put tape, and if it does, then put tape on it. But anyway, let's just see what is going on, okay? We will get back to... Thank you, Black Dahlia. I'm gonna stop thanking you guys just so I don't break the flow of the, just so I don't break the flow. But thank you guys for all the hosts. But anyways, let's just see what is going on, okay? We'll get back to the TARDIS and live our lives jumping through time and living to bone all the sexy people out of their times and to have fun doing all, but not too hard because that might cause problems. But only if you do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes Christmas. Then that is festive as fuck. And you are Santa Claus's big helper if you give him a big old hand job. But not just any hand job. A very special magical hand job with a veiny hand. Maybe a foot. Who knows? It could just be the best time to get swole and get back to the future, Marty. We're going on a Bill Nye's Wild Magic Carpet ride because the DeLorean ain't swag enough, and I'm too old for this. Yet we keep doing this, like this is more like when I hit that guy and he said, "Can't touch this." But then he touched it, and that's my fetish. So we went on a date in the TARDIS, and it was great. Then we did the horizontal tango and the time warp. Then he died. But he was still alive in my heart, so he will live in hell now, where there will be cake, and the cake is full of spiders. Burn everything up, except the spiders. This poses a fun situation where the spiders are my friends and soft and fuzzy and love hugs, but they can see why kids hate them so much because they aren't real. Wow, that's rude. They don't eat more than usual because the queen of spiders can cook really well. But also don't use... Are you guys trying to tell me something with the hosts? Well, also doesn't use the cinnamon. She uses the bodies of her enemies and laughs at the evil Ginrapnathakon while she cooks his freshly served meat on his severed meat on a stick. Then she seasons it with the tears of Tekmala Dasharat the Mad. She is pretty and cute, patient except when she's doing taxes. She hates but loves music while she does all the cooking. She sends us to work for more hot chocolate and then pays in food from the garbage can, because we're garbage. Is what she said, then kissed on her forehead and gives us hugs and put us to bed. And inside the cardboard box, not just any, it was filled with spider radiation and unicorns that granted wishes that to whoever you wished for, you could get anything except lottery tickets. We wished for, but I wished for dancing pandas and chocolate fountains and a worthy bamboo stick for stirring cake batter because it tastes like victory. then explodes in flavor like a brick, hitting my dick with flavor, and less hard in my hand throwing a brick at the wall. And all in all, fun was had, in utter darkness and utter solitude, until one day a pig came. Its name was Lord Henry Johnson. He had a beautiful garden which contained thriving population of TF2 medics who cuddled all the pink fluffy unicorns when suddenly a pie flew into the arms of a hairy gorilla who was surfing on muddy waves of gravy sauce while consuming a chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream, sitting on a cute mushroom chair while thinking of how to take the last piece of lemon pie that is rumored to be the pie of legends. Where the land beneath it turns into cookies, the Queen of Cake lived and indulged on the suppleness of all the cake in and around the caves of a very dangerous dragon, where he slept atop, or she was sitting there in a burnt Winnebago, which was also an unfortunate transformer who always wanted to visit Cybertron, but couldn't due to unpaid tickets. So they put him in a tiny panda cage owned by a monkey and a tiny edible onesie who craved to love somebody to the very end. But something was eating his soul, telling him that something was seriously wrong with this situation. Meanwhile, in Cakeland, where the Queen of Cupcake... You know what, I should say that Crusader Kings isn't going on anymore. Sorry guys, it's really hard to read all these run-on sentences at once. Alright. Eating at his soul, telling them something was seriously wrong with this situation. Meanwhile, in Cakeland, where the Queen of Cupcakes lived and breathed interpretive dance while it rained in torrents, nobody cared if it was Taco Tuesday, because everything was paid for by the mother who drinks wine from her fancy glass while wearing a tutu and dancing. But she wanted to drink the holy water instead, to gain the salty taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch to gain the salty taste out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch out of her mouth. Because she hates salty ball juice. And then the Fire Nation attacked to get our potatoes and pandas. So we called the Twitch police, who could only stop a few ruffians from stealing our dank memes. And all the fresh Lucky Charms were eaten hastily by the legendary Golder Cyan Panda, whose only goal was to make fat cash by selling tears of dolphins who lacked the general knowledge of the chocolate underwater cavern that gave the panda spider powers and really bad gas, which caused it to fart lots of marshmallows out of its belly button to keep from being a pleb because all of the random dance parties at Twitch conventions, where we have lots of pizza. But it's not fun without your besties and your mother because a court ordered her not to pick her nose. So I cut off her fingers. So I was grounded for 3 Goobenfranks. Those are what humans call Stubblesprocks? I don't know. If you've ever had a pet, but I think unicorns would be more awesome than a sad penguin. Being alone and full of angst, wanted to do his house chores to impress the sexy goblin that danced in the pale moonlight with a lion who wore such tiny boots that were possibly too small for the little guy. But then she said hello. Suddenly an orange appeared out of nowhere and landed on top of an unsuspecting but big rock that slowly rolled over onto the big beautiful man-child. Something wasn't right with the way his cold hands, and they turned into flippers, so he began to masturbate furiously and got blisters on his dick, which unfortunately turned to dust after hours of continuous fapping to hentai. Luckily, a magical, maniacal ferryman took pity and waved his magical rod aloft and granted 3 wishes. The first wish was he cannot get blisters. The second wish, to be a girl, with a pretty bouncy bosom that she could flaunt with all, well, it's actually bosom, but big bouncy bosom that could flaunt all the grills in the land, without judgment of the mighty queen, Clara, who is truly a flying red panda with amazing magical powers, and a heart full of gold with a sword that her father gave to her to keep from getting slain by the evil minions that gave her powers to turn metal into cheese. Flavored pasta people, so they could get really fat while singing to Shake It Off because the take on me. So I tried to forget about the final countdown of The Last Starfighter, who was forgotten about until Ninja Sex Party. He was the unicorn wizard, flying through the galaxy on shooting stars to get to space camp in space, where the aliens masturbated furiously to food porn on the unicorn wizard's mom, which looked like Bailey J wearing a thong in a bathtub full of dongers, where that's my fetish. By the way, we still have 1 wish left, guys. Maybe somebody can add that in all the comments down below. His mom thought that the sound of fapping was him playing the drums, so she danced to the music, and furious masturbation in the kitchen. Then Unicorn Wizard used a spell, joined in with butt sex, to make more Unicorn Wizards to save his dying marshmallow pet, which had a stick up its ass which caused a lot of pain. A space lot, by the way, that's 4 words. It was also satisfying in many unspeakable ways. Then something else happened. It was surprising to say that the caged panda was angry and roaming about its starship bridge. It appeared to be boring. That's why it was wondering to make a house out of pancakes. After that, it would plant monkey trees to grow monkeys for their evil plan to conquer the planet of chocolate, to get all the monkey from the king that hates all the red pandas that are freaking adorable because the cuteness is too strong. And the king ate a burger and sat there farting a lot, wonder what to eat next, because the pandas were stuffing their faces with bamboo, and out of nowhere a wild Mewtwo slaps their faces of all the dolphin people of Mars to get hugs from the pandas who wanted to climb trees to get bamboo, but they were too fat to scratch their backs or their butts. So then they had no time to find a butt scratcher made of fresh wood for good quality butt scratches. They're sold in white vans by the river where it is somewhat safe to scratch your butt. Unlike the other day when I accidentally fell over my butt scratching tool. Now that was buried under the sofa that I love so dearly with all my heart, but it tripped me when I could not eat my food. Calling in on October 31st. I haven't even hit November yet. Yeah, we're almost halfway basically. Without the presence of our Lord Helix fossil, who wasn't chosen by the other pandas because of his gross helix body, but he was still able to cuddle all day and make the bestest of pancakes that Jupiter has, rivers of syrup and mountains of frozen blood towering over all the prostrating masses of blood-sucking leeches, all named Jeff. They wanted their dicks sucked, but they were too Jeff. Jeff sucks. He sucks all of everything. He eventually got a Jeffectomy. It didn't look too good, and it hurt like hell because of all the pink mark it left on their faces, while they laughed about how stupid it looked, and then they died. And then the Queen of Spiders took her spiderlings out for dinner, and ate all the super spicy chicken that gave them all gas, and they were happily farting spiders. Until they shit. Stinky explosive poops and killed all of the fish in the pond, and it smelled, kinda like McDonald's. And wet dog, so they left, and traveled far away, and 10 years to get bagels because they tasted like apples, and they were 5 for 1 at the flea-infested taco shop in New Jersey. So they decided, fuck New Jersey, and left. So instead, they traveled to Japan, where a mysterious old manga factory lied to me about all the manga. It was bad. I wanted tacos right now, but the dog ate them all, and pooped out all the other spicy Mexican treats made in China by Indian children who ate vegan. Luckily, we ran away before they could tell prune juice in a bottle where you could open another land and ride dinosaurs every day. The unicorns play and the children bask in the river of blood where the unicorns drank every day. They gained powers of blood dragons and killed all the space dragoons who, strangely enough, were not evil. They were all pink and fluffy and really kind and wanting to hug all the unicorns, and ran around the ranch of the ranch where all the ranch dressing is found for the delicious fresh salads. The unicorns can prepare tonight's dinners with all the ranch dressing, but there wasn't any salad, so they licked a tree and got maple syrup full of sugary goodness. This, however, made them feel something. It was determination. To get the power key from the Cake King because they needed to get the treasure for the lost cheese. To get the other lost cheese and the key to the cheesy chest of destiny. And so for that, we need slightly different music. So they went to the Oracle of the Sea to summon the Great Cheese Master, and he was Swiss, and wanted to ask how the chicken crossed Hexter's dimensional gateway to get to the KFC to file a complaint for the lack of biscuits and chicken which gave him gas, and exploded in a fried bird and turned him into a pumpkin, where the king made a pie, and gave it to all the minions dressed as sharks. They were vicious, lustful creatures. They ate cake and made love, roaring in ecstasy. Then babies came from the north, eating their parents, and then turning into gigantic mega sharks and killing everyone in cold blood. After the war, he got depressed. Thus he licked his ice cream cone, and then it melted on his shirt. It It was the color of the sun's rays, and it ripped to a sad end. Thus my shirt was ruined, and I was very mad. But alas, I sneezed all over my arch-nemesis, who proceeded to challenge my honor and wanted to cuddle my pet alligator. But I digress. So then I sauntered up to the Taco Bell to relieve my empty cup and my growling stomach to take all the pain away from the pizza that I had eaten. It gave me the most epic poop I have eaten since I joined 4chan. The poops were still kind of warm, but kind of good, but kind of not. But yet the warmness was bae. So I ate and ate the poops and then drank refreshing pee with beer. The sulfur. Oh, actually, you know what? This is November 1st, so we've got 26 more days of this. I'll leave it to chat. How many of you want to keep reading it? I'm going to read chat. You guys just give me a big column of spam saying whether or not you want this monstrousness to stop or whether or not I should continue. Yeah, guys, I've missed like 3/4 of the chat because I've just been reading this stuff, so... Okay, I'm glad you guys are finding this so funny. Yeah, so, I mean, if you think this is a race, I'm pretty sure I can get to the end of this before you guys can add to this. Okay, there's literally nobody has said don't read this, so... Challenge accepted, and you know what? The gloves are off, my friends. We're going to music that's a little bit more appropriate to a story of this scope. So get ready, folks. Strap in. I'm not going to be looking at chat, and we are going to go into full reading mode. Ate the poops and drank refreshing pee with beer and sulfuric acid, thus made him convulsively power spew, and he turned into a giant piece of poop, then out of nowhere destroyed the whole porcelain throne of poop where it splattered all over the faces of the hopeful ghosts of dead businessmen who asked for large quantities of poop in a brown paper bag to eat with their piss beer and plan the upcoming apocalypse with fiery jellyfish and poop bags and spam. So weeks after it blew up, but it was fun, and it was terrible at the end of everything. So we started walking through the forest and saw a handsome prince. We punched him right in the balls. And then we laughed until the poor little fella crawled off groaning, and then he turned into a dick with mighty, mighty swing and a mighty sword with a sharp tip and a white eye. This man was very clever and very powerful, and was very mighty dick. Now he has a beautiful face and his beautiful dick. He can go screw all the bitches and all the people he could strangely fondle. Oh, come on. And all the people he could strangely fondle with his left testicle, which is important for the evil and greater good. He did go to all the strip club and grabbed the booty with his mighty yet uncomfortably large dick. All the women started to bask in the unbelievable sight in the dark where the magic mice made all the wondrous cats jump on wondrous mice and then ate 15% certified beef with poop and moist cedar shavings. I'm competing with the music a little bit. And it made the cats feel poopy because of the lack of laxatives in their favorite television show, where they were eating every night until they felt the laxatives were not working, so they took some real laxatives. So the bathroom was completely full with bottles of laxatives, and we took pictures of it and uploaded them to Instagram and to my LiveJournal to all make MySpace jealous, to get them to become famous for all the laxative Foursquare peeps This poop machine could only make more poop happen, and eventually they shit everywhere, all up the walls. What the fuck? When did this turn into such a shit story, with shitty antics and stress shitting, with all the fecal fanatics around? It's just shitty. It started with Taco Bell and that burrito. It was very good, but wasn't good. Everything went downhill, and the toilet ended up on the floor from the fecal avalanche, leading to kissing all the turds while being watched. Sat there doing that poop stuff with the poopy, which then led to all the extremely bad odors that the turds just mentioned. They were shitty and just stanky. They would not be defeated by all the butts as a new clean of butts approaches to the fight, all the twerking giant sumo wrestler, and end them with dripping sauce and dirty butts. They were defeated when they were forced to just retreat and rethink their plan of attack. To end all nefarious deeds, the turds in the Squishy's house of poop with all the nefarious poop and all the adorable little kittens smelled the poop and purred furiously and ran away. Unlike the dogs, they ran weird and came back. But something was quite sniffingly weird. Upon brutally inserting the 2-inch brush deep within his nipple ring, he screamed for more tacos, and he felt rather dissatisfied because the meat was carved delicately and was not cooked. What a mess, he said angrily. All the tacos were infested by tiny little beetles that looked like poop, and was given to King Midas to make tacos for everyone to eat. All you, King Midas said, the tacos are smelly and rotten and filled with rats. And beetles too then came to be purple people eaters, eating all the jellyfish eggs with ribs on the side of tacos, which were off luckily. They didn't rub the taco the wrong way. Like Obama did, he touched his super sweet chill on the inside and moaned. It wasn't quite enough. So they made crumpets by the pound and smelt delightful as a trash can from South London. It was horrible to witness such smell and pungent fumes. It literally killed me. It was creepy uncle. Why do you chastise me so? I can't help but smell otaku blood all over my sheets. I'm calling the police as soon as I get home from this ballet lesson. And you are really gonna love this when I type 3 words about poop and 3DS capture cards. And tacos as liquid diarrhea and piss for sauce spilt all over my pants. They were too far gone, so I had to turn them into a taco, munching Uber Gokai to obtain the Triforce. Any luck on it yet? I doubt it, so we will travel to the moon. That cool? Okay, let's do that thing with the thing, and things got kind of thingy upon things, other than things being more thingy, with happy little Vegemites as bright as the sun and as filling as the green grass on the rolling hills. What the hell is your problem, officer? We need to respect our elders and the people who love sushi, and want to actually cook tacos, not fake cooked. Remember to say thank you after all your grandma did for you yesterday, okay? Great, let's do it. Let's have an impromptu dance-off with lights, November 6th. Lots of bubbles. The party was terrible. Meanwhile, we went to a haunted house where the ghosts were full of candy. You could almost hear them in the distance, to your left and the right. There's a cat with a bad cough that was so loud it woke the neighbors up to apologize. We're just having too much fun with the big fellow with the battle axe strapped to his face. He's tired. Though beer o'clock, that was cheating. Robbie then said, "What's on my brand new shirt from Teespring that cost a lot of money?" And then you had to beat the devil to obtain the 2-inch brush for the treasure, and then buy the sweet Teespring t-shirt and get a box to skip it into Mars where they troll NASA rovers with all the panda noise boobs. While they play surprise Super Uno and lose all their chicken butts to the Lord, the Moist Messiah, and get the great orange zebra to keep it in your backyard and let it die slowly. "Morning!" it screamed as the subway man took his subs in the trash in front of my face. I rode the zebra to get another tasty sub. However, the subway was closed by now, so I had no choice but to get pizza topped with yolk and cake and sliced bologna and egg. It was the biggest pizza and the grossest smell that you could ever imagine. Play Osu! Click the circles, stick to the beat, and find the mouse cause you will lose... You will lose all the songs in your folder while Osu calls your skills shit, cause who uses a mouse to open Osu? You need a magic wand to summon the panda from within your feet if you want to be a panda yourself, November 7th. You must believe as a teacher you will teach a young boy how to fly like a panda with a bamboo stick in his hand and fight the king of clean crisp Applebee's for all the delicious overpriced appetizers that they serve to the victor that can eat the morning sun, which was hot and spicy with much Tabasco smeared on the side of my face. I had to rub my eyes to get it in my pupils and somehow get it in my pants because skin needs to heal from my magic wand accident that happened when everything broke on my way to the doctor's. I really hate porcupines, like for real. What was God doing when he decided to make porcupines? They are balls of death and destruction with furry little tails and pricks that probably hurt when they poke you. So don't kiss the pricks. They will get you and give you the clap. So wear protection so that dick don't get pricked by the clap. That damn clap with the claps. He went to the gynecologist to vaporize the clap with a needle. Then he realized it's permanent, so he went back to clapping his magic wand against the wall so it would work. But it went boom, and the dick was magically cured by the doctor, who is very good at his what the fuck claps his back. I am doomed till the end of the stream. And probably the end of time. So I had to dance my clap off somehow. It got worse to where I had to go to... I'm noticing people are apologizing for the people are apologizing for the grammar at this point. Okay, dance my clap off somehow. It got worse to where I had to go to the bathroom to brush my nasty clap thing. I can feel it crawling through my Tabasco-drenched skin. It's hard not to spell spicy but sweet at the same time. I cannot handle, November 8th, wet earmuffs. They need to be completely dry to be warm on my buttocks. For I am great and mighty only on Saturdays, because that's actually my favorite moment in the afternoon, even though some people don't like Dirty Dancing Man. How can he be pretty dirty when Grim Knights come out to play? Though they all were grounded from the paper salt shakers because they used too much chicken in the oven. On Black Friday, November 9th, we bought a ton of slashed watermelons on discount for the holidays. So to get them to the house and eat them all day every day while singing Billie Jean and doing the Thriller with my mom, which turned me into something of a regular occurrence. Later we went out for sushi and had all the sushi in the world. It was the only thing that I could eat without pooping and laughing about my poops, how big the poops are and how loud poops can be. Simply amazing and yummy tasting dessert for any time, super toilet days when you really have to poop, and really have, November 11th, Remembrance Day, had spicy food. But it was 3 months old and needed to be heated up. But you said I'll microwave my spicy food if you let me wake you up now. So I'll play with my favorite toy of all, Time, the Incredible Hulk, and some random Hot Wheels. Oh yeah? Awesome. Is it Friday? No, it is. Not today, it's Thursday. Poop is from the Wreckham. Cough! I'm sorry. It is too much for you to handle with only one hand, and it is completely covered with poop. Why do they change for bathroom breaks for November 12th? Sloppy bathroom misadventures. I need to deal with this another time because I have a Taco Bell party at the local Taco Bell with my pals, Bozo the Clown. We all played, and Jim the Tuttle sat and waited for tacos while the evil dragon planned to burn down every Taco Bell in the world, a secret weapon called fire, and to steal underwear from all the nasty little hobbitses, and to take November 13th the hot sauce for all the people to put on plants and go dancing with the old dog and the wild little cats. Then we go on our way to the cave. November 14th, in Candy Mountain with candy corn and absolute torture, circus peanuts were dancing around the campfire naked and sang silly songs and ate a super good sandwich with ice cream that tasted like beef. It was gross, yet still satisfying. It was so confusing. I'm back for more 3-word story. Let's get all and walk that super long walk on the road, like a boss. I take nothing out with compensation, so we went to go fight the big monster November 16th, only to find a big pie, golden dragon eggs that were worth more than all the gold in Sirius Clara's kingdom, so we had planned on taking it all to the Queen Clara, so she could decide what to do with it all, with all the eggs. So she ate a few with whipped cream. It was her own invention, so all her warrior Bijou Squishy could protect the queen by trying to arm the fellow warriors against the thieves who would steal eggs and sell much muff. Suddenly a wild, small, feral child licked a foot and ate clippings, November 17th, and Toe Jam, then caught a 4-toed walrus. Small endangered fish was a unique fish that could get along with anyone that talked to them nicely. It lived up to the challenge. It was worth the wait. However, there was something I must do to complete the mission, but first we have to build a giant wall to block out Santa Claus from hugging the little elves inappropriately, November 18th, by the way. Then we need 3 big elves armed with deadly, fat, shiny snow cones to get the reindeer for the meeting at the office. In the orifice, the stormtrooper came and ate the freshly baked cookies, November 19th, that were not made gluten-free, which gave him some stomach issues accompanied by explosive poops. There were multicolored poops that smelled like beautifully delicate flowers, so we took them to school to teach them how to read and how to sew pretty things with poop. So it was the poop that motivated the stormtrooper to sew blankets for the homeless people so they can have sweet-ass and smelly poops that smell like shit. They need to get some shampoo to shower, but they don't have the money. so they have to get it by doing certain jobs for money.
Club that would have someone like me for a
Oh god, who's following for this crap? Thank you very much for the follows, guys. This is pretty much... We need to make this a monthly thing. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I need to kind of catch up with chat for a little bit, so I'm going to take a break. I guess you guys aren't going to give me any mercy on this story, but let's just take a look here. The music is giving me power. All right. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not acknowledging like all of... I've got 12 channels hosting me right now and so many follows. I'm sorry I'm not acknowledging all of this. Please take the videos for it, because we're at 171 new messages since I opened up this this thing. And everybody's still typing, so... Hey Jesse Quill, you've come to the low point of this stream. Alright folks. I have to do certain jobs for money, which are very hard to do, so they decided to make shampoo to get rid of the fleas, so they didn't do a decent job that wasn't so demanding in food-related chains that treated the food with such poor gratitude that it was almost bad as poop covered with tacos, with really messy sauce. It was by far the use of rocks in the sauce. It wasn't the best, so we ate each other out like ravenous zombies. All the foods were infected with the deadly T-virus, so he went to get some organic green herbs to fix the boop mechanism of the mighty Uzaru, who turned golden after the magical words were chanted. He got sold a burnt hot dog and gave him explosive diarrhea. He was in a coma for 7 long days and came out feeling reincarnated as a kangaroo. So it hopped across the lands to look for expired Vegemite sandwiches to farm with Super Kami Guru to get the 7 Dragon Ball to make him wish for some time food for Twitter so I can brag about how good it looks. My friends hate me when I'm eating it all and I don't share. So they call me up and tell me to share because we're best friends forever and they'll kill hamsters if we don't. So I cooked all the food and gave it a special topping that made dogs fly and eat the dog treats, that gave them a super tummy ache, and wings the bippity-boppity boos, so gave them much time to fool around with Squeaky Chew toy that the dog loves playing with. His toys took from him because he was leaving them everywhere and trashing the house with toys. We need pants for life, and to keep the pudding fresh was still edible, but only with November 23rd that chocolate sauce. It made it taste somewhat strange and really squishy, so we took it in our house and cooked until perfect. We ate it. No, we stuffed it in our mouths and we choked, but yet we swallowed it all. We are lewd. We are dicks. We are who we are. Don't protest the size, because it's great, like Frosted Flakes, trademark. We need these color-changing spoons for the effect to impress our boss, Seriously Clara, for our family breakfast. Sorry, Seriously Clara just finally made me laugh by saying bippity boppity. You like hearing bippity boppity boo. For the effect to impress our boss, Seriously Clara, for our family breakfast, where we hold each other's hands and sing really annoying folk songs with drinks in our hands, money in our oversized fanny packs. We bought our November 25th the sex toys we could carry and throw at the local church for the local ministry was set up. They burned all new messages, other people alive, and brought the ashes for charity. So we went with sex toys, and we need other gear too to the stores, so we must go to get the foods November 26th and the gear for the party. Let's-a go! And party all went outside to chase the wild flaming turkeys that we're eating, honey. You need meat. November 27th, kill 'em all! November 28th, said the Ewok while he was in the bathroom taking a shit while touching a butt of a gaffy stick he has been fondling in his pocket. He needs a pickle in his butt for all the best things that he inserts, such as coleslaw and macaroni salad, into his pet tarantula, the king of skunk and the pet tarantula that fed on the blood of innocence. It tastes yummy. So yummy that he blew his spicy, creamy load all over the family picnic when the pastor exclaimed, "Not today, Satan! Blow your load!" Satan left in distress, knowing that he was next the bachelorette who won victim sodomy. Then it sucked all the dicks, which then he got really sick. He thought it was AIDS, but it turned out to be space AIDS. Afterwards, he spread to all the elderly in the house. They were so infected with evil space ducks that they quacked hard and fast. So hard, man, this hurts. He thought I really could use some apricot jam spread inside my dick for extra space when I go to the dentist to meet my love of cheese. Bloody poop farts. She had the biggest and the sweatiest pair of squishiest boobs of brie, which tasted like the 1,000 chickens fried. Mmm. For who finished doing his girlfriend got blessed with big tits and the juiciest of dicks, with the biggest of pickles, so they were juicy and green on the 21st, that was moldy and that tasted like total shit. Now we must dance to the voice of System Chalk, that sounds like the wrath of 1,000 gods and the rage of punching the dicks. Many tiny fish flying through the sky when a cataclysm of pickles rained upon the Super Kami Guru. That's when I asked Kite a simple riddle, a Super Saiyan swagger of massive proportions. Find the dragon. Oh, I will wish for a giant pickle, so he could stick it somewhere where the sun beyond the boundaries, beyond the void, where no light shall see the Sonic the Hedgehog or Kirby, because I sleep that bad character in my left pocket, because my right is full of dicks and pickles, encased in crystals, as I dance with children to the tune of Real Love and Peanut Butter. Because peanut butter sounds great when it's mixed with rabbits and rubbed sardines, especially when you rub it in all the sweet tangerine unicorn farts. Wait a minute. There we go. Which didn't make a good appetizer for the horde of Zomzoms and mutant squirrels when all of the running dicks ran into the world, where System Chalk didn't read the story, and he didn't know how to be sexy like the writers in Seinfeld and the raging Jewish hamster who ate bacon on Sundays because he was Jewish, whatever that means. But what it didn't know was that the pepper was actually salt, and little dicks and big butts with grilled cheese and tomato and lettuce and stinky French cheese stack on top. I made love. Oh, I lost sound. Made loves to some pancakes smothered in loads of sweaty, meaty arms with many pickled dicks, and we're at the end of the story. This is your fault, chat. That's when story's done. Nope, not reading anymore. You have to wait till next month.